What's going on, my people? Today we're going to check out Frontrunnerz, specifically to see Clint, who's been running the show for probably the last 3 years, I'd say. It's just about documenting their journey, understanding what their origin point is, what their philosophy is, what's important to them, and what they're trying to do in the future. So I'm gonna pop up to Ace Cafe, go out for a ride with Clint. He's got an amazing anniversary edition R1. I'm excited for you to see how important they are to the scene, to the culture. As per usual, like, subscribe, and follow us on all the socials. But yeah, look forward to seeing you on the flip side. TR. What's up, my people? We are back for Slipstream, and we're out today for another episode, linking up at the legendary Ace Cafe. Here to talk to Clint from Frontrunnerz. Frontrunnerz, what's good?
What are you saying, TR? You good?
Yeah, you blessed? All right, man, so we're gonna get into it. What exactly is the Frontrunnerz? What is this?
It's a bike community which started 2014, 2015, but we went by a different name then. Well, there's always Frontrunnerz, but it was more Dem R1 Boyz Frontrunnerz. Okay, okay. And what is it like? What defines you? What do you do? What is like? What's your output? We do bike rides, like as a community, organise ride-outs, events, bike washes for charity. We do sell merch. Okay. So it's just, and we've got an online social. So between 2014, 15 till now, yeah. Got quite a few followers, quite a few people know who you are. Why do you think that you've built up the traction that you have in a relatively small period of time? I'd say that we were different. When we started, there wasn't a lot of bike groups out there. Yeah. You know, you'd normally go to bike events like this, and you wouldn't see people of colour normally, you know. Yeah. It seemed cool then, you know, like. Okay. You was black and dangerous, basically. I wouldn't say black and dangerous, but you know, it was different, you know. Yeah. It's not something that you would normally see. Yeah, no, I hear that. In terms of you as a team, there are obviously other teams now. So when you started, there might not have been as many. Now there are. Yeah. Are there any rivalries out there? I've got no rivals. Not like. No? Obviously, it's not just me. It's me and two others. Ishaman, obviously, you should know. I want to see everyone win, so I've got no rivals, you know. I mean, rivalries don't always have to be unhealthy. No, of course. You know, is there any healthy competition? Anyone that you see out there that you think is healthy competition? They're like friends. You know? You know, so you want to push each other to do well. So, you know, like Sean with Slow Boys does his thing. Like Slow Boys, yeah. You know, Everyday Bikes, they do their thing. Yeah, Jay loving them. You know, Ride Free, I don't know them like that. But you know, anyone that's doing anything for the bike community, it's always positive. What do you think the perception is of Frontrunnerz outwardly? When you say perception, like, how do you think people view you? Was it like, you know, at one stage you might have seemed a bit more edgy, a bit more dangerous. Maybe you got a bit more people friendly since then. Like, what do you think your brand? How do you think your brand is perceived? You know, before people would see, like, I don't know, like there might be 33 of us turn up on R1s, you know, Dem R1 Boyz days, and people might feel a bit intimidated, you know, like all these black guys on big bikes, but it wasn't really that, you know. like you know yourself, when you take the time out to speak to people, like it's not really that deep, you know.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
Everyone's got a common interest, you know. So I think as time went on, people viewed us like once you got to know us, it was like, oh, you know what, that man are cool, you know. Obviously, but people always look for the negative in things, but it's not that.
This is true. But I mean, in terms of the distinction between the Frontrunnerz and Dem R1 Boyz, like, what is the relationship between? Is it two separate teams? Is it one team with different names? Is it a progression from one thing to the other? Like, what does that look like?
It was always been Dem R1 Boyz Frontrunnerz. Like everyone always had, as you know, everyone had R1s then.
Yeah.
You know, but like with me and the others, like we discussed, like you know, a lot of people felt left out. You know, it's like if you didn't have an R1, you couldn't be part of it. But it's not that. You could turn up on your Honda, your Suzuki, whatever you've got. You know, you're more than welcome. You know, but I think people looking at it like, oh, I don't really fit in because I haven't got an R1. But we find like Frontrunnerz is more socially acceptable, like for everyone. You know, everyone can be a front runner.
Inclusive.
Yeah, it's more inclusive. Don't matter what, you got a Harley, you could be a front runner, you know?
So is inclusivity important to Frontrunnerz as a team?
Yeah, because it's a bike community. We don't want no one to feel left out.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah, that's mad cool, because you know, there's a few ways you could go at it, and you could be super exclusive, where it's like if you know, you know. Or you could be more of a family team vibe. Like, do you have like many female riders? Have you got like younger riders that you ride with? Obviously, there's hella black dudes in there. We know that much, and some Asian ones, I think, as well. So, I mean, in terms of diversity, do you accommodate for like less experienced riders? Let's say.
Yeah, no, of course. Like, we've got riders that might just have their A2.
Okay.
You know, they're on a restricted bike.
Yeah, man.
You know, we've got riders that come from all different walks of life, different age groups. There's some man riding with us, they're in their 50s. You know, and then you've got the 21-year-olds, 22-year-olds riding. Yeah. Like, you know, so.
Was it like, if you don't know, like Slipstream as a platform was very much started with the idea that more experienced riders, people who've got the know-how, kind of pushing forward, and then less experienced people that want to get that inside track can get in their Slipstream and catch up with them, and you know, the idea wanting to surpass them at some stage. So, I mean, in terms of what you guys have got planned for the rest of 2021 and 2022, what's in the plan for you lot? Is there anything in the pipeline that we should be looking out for?
Yeah, no, we're hoping to do some more events. Okay. Obviously, you've been to a few of the events in the past. And
a while ago now, but
a while ago, obviously, people have families, things happen. You know what I mean? But yeah, some more events. Want to do some more charity events, some more rides, maybe even some European rides. Okay. You know, some new merch. Cool. You know.
So that's that might be a Slipstream exclusive. Clint was speaking to me earlier off cam, speaking about some crazy Grand Canyon of Europe. It sounds like somewhere I want to go, so keep us posted, and you know, if we can get some content out there, it's definitely something we'd be interested in. So in terms of because I know that in the past you guys have done like bike washes and organised rides, we're going to see more of that this year, or more so next year?
Hopefully we'll do something before the year's out, but possibly more next year.
Yeah. What do you think in terms of how the automotive industry views people like you as a team? Like, how do you think a Ducati, a Honda, a Yamaha, even some of the race championships, how do they think they view you as a team?
It's definitely an opportunity.
Yeah.
Like, obviously you're tapping into more people, you know. Like, there's a lot of people like just like us, you know. Like, before you might not go and buy a Burberry shirt because we didn't see many black people wearing Burberry. You know what I mean? Like, or people of colour.
So do you think that they're in a place at the moment where they can recognise the opportunity?
The world's changing. You've got to move with the times.
It's your opinion, not mine. You told me.
I don't know if it sounds right though.
What do you want to say, and I'll tell you if it sounds right.
No, like it's definitely an opportunity. Right. Like, in the sense that we're tapping into other people. Like, it's like, you know, there's thousands of people just like us. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
You know, like, people will go. There's someone, maybe not necessarily me, but there's people in our team that will go and spend 40k with you. You know, but we want to feel comfortable spending 40k with you. Yeah, yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like,
well, you could say, I think that they'd see us as an opportunity, but I don't know if they're prepared, or if they're developed enough to actually work with us in that capacity.
Yeah.
That's a reasonable answer. And you could say moving forward, we'd like to do more in order to secure those types of partnerships and relationships.
Yeah.
You can say that.
I don't know if they're quite ready yet.
Yeah.
You know, to further their reach like that. But going forward, I'd like, with what we've got planned and the things we've got hopefully coming up, that they will see as an opportunity that they can work with as a brand. You know?
I think you guys have got a lot of potential. I've always said this to you guys. Kind of before Slipstream was even a thing, I'd done some media work with these guys on some of their events and stuff. And from 7 years ago, definitely saw the potential with these guys. And now it seems that they're really working to make things come to fruition. So I'm happy about that. Just from an external perspective, happy to see you doing well. For younger riders who are trying to get involved in this lifestyle, it's quote unquote lifestyle. I know it's weird to describe it like that because it's just like literally our lives, but people that see it externally, think that it's cool, want to be involved, what can they do to access this kind of lifestyle? Give them like 3 tips. How do you get in amongst this?
Tips all day.
Talk to them,
Yeah,
talk to the people.
like, first thing I say, take your time, do it properly.
Yeah, no half stepping.
No half stepping, do it properly. It's
what does that mean?
It's not a game, it's like, you know, it's fun, but it's dangerous.
What does it mean in terms of no half stepping?
Do it properly, like.
Get your full license.
Get your full license.
Get the best bike you can afford.
Nah, it's not even get the best bike forward.
In terms of maintenance-wise, in terms of like, don't buy a piece of shit is what I'm trying to say.
Oh yeah,
something that's like been well maintained.
We're well maintained, you know.
Yeah.
Get something that's well maintained. But like for me, I was just say the first things first. Me personally, I recommend that you drive first. Yeah. You know, the roads is dangerous.
Yeah.
And I feel we all drive cars.
Yeah.
You know, so we see how people drive and we know, because we've driven ourselves, you know, like it gives us a bit more experience on the roads.
Yeah.
With a bit of protection, you know. So I recommend people try and do their driving first. But like, yeah, I know people want to go and buy the bike, get the fastest bike, and just, while they're in the process of doing it, just hit the road. Don't do it. Yeah, just take time.
Is this your second bike?
Yeah.
Second bike. What was your first bike?
GSXR 750.
You started on GSXR 750?
Yeah.
Okay. So what Clint is saying is don't do what I did.
Yeah.
I started on the 750, said, yeah, don't get a super fast bike. Second bike was an R1. We're not going to look at that as an example. That seems like quite generic advice.
No, but saying that,
yeah, go on.
I didn't pass my test when I was young, like, do you know what I mean?
You started older.
I started older,
yeah.
so...
And you've been driving for a piece.
I've been driving for years.
That's a good caveat, I like that.
The mentality of me and how I think and how, obviously they changed the age to 24, how a 24-year-old think, it's going to be completely different. And I think that's partly why they moved it from 21 to 24. Because people getting bikes at 21 thinking, yeah, I've just passed my test, don't know fuck all about riding, I'm going to go and get a 1000cc bike that does 190 mile an hour and not seeing the rest of the year. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it happens and it's real. It's unfortunately the downside of bike life. But in terms of, I mean, everything you said is solid and sound advice. It does sound quite generic. Not everyone who rides a bike is in the lifestyle that Frontrunnerz is in. So how do people, if you're in Reading, if you're in Luton, if you're in Brighton, and you see this through your Instagram, how do they get involved? How do they get part of the in crowd?
Like, our pages all put, like, you know, I've always getting messages from youngsters asking what advice do I give them. Like, I just say do it properly, like you said, no half steps, you know. Do your theory, your CBT, your direct access, you know, and take time. It's not a race.
This is true.
It's not a race.
This is true.
You know, it's supposed to be fun and enjoyable. You know.
So, how can people hear about your events and your ride outs?
On our social media, we've got 2 pages. We are Frontrunnerz. And Frontrunnerz. So we've got 2 pages. We post stuff on there. We'll be on our post, on our story, you know.
Okay. So in terms of like Frontrunnerz being part of a scene, so you mentioned Slow Boys, Inner City Riders, Everyday Bikes, J Love and them, got them, man. So there's definitely a scene. There's like an ecosystem. Where do you see the future of that scene going?
the potential's there. I can see it becoming the next big thing, you know. It's big.
Yeah.
In itself, like, you know, like the bike, as you can see, look, people just turn up, like, and this is small today.
Yeah. This is light.
It was light.
This is light.
You know what I mean? Like.
So for the viewers, we pulled up at Ace with a plan to shoot, and we didn't actually know there was a meet today. But there's an Indian motorcycles owners meet, a bunch of Harley guys, a bunch of older riders essentially on big loud hogs. But we plotted up over here. But this is exemplary of like how vibrant the bike scene is, how varied it is. And how cool it is. I mean, these people putting up, having a barbecue, having a good time. So I'm sure all of them are hoping it comes home. But anyway, yeah. So is there anything else in terms of messages, shout outs, people, anything you want people to look out for?
Yeah, definitely look out for the future events coming up, new merch.
Yeah.
You know, and like everyone to stay safe. You know, it's not a race.
Yeah.
You know.
So that just about concludes the whole day. We had a dope time. Dope ride, but I feel like we got some real insights into who the Frontrunners are, what they're about, what they represent, and what they have the potential to be. So a lot of exciting things in the pipeline for those guys, and I'm sure you'll join me in wishing them the best of luck on their journey. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit us up on Instagram. That's where you can see the most timely updates. We're also on Facebook, building a little community there as well. And we're doing some awesome stuff on LinkedIn on an organizational basis. So big up everyone who's supported thus far, and we'll see you with more content in the pipeline coming very shortly. Blessings.